I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Why is everyone talking about this story right now? Because at last, the people with the biggest voices are speaking up. It all goes back to June 24th, 2026, when the Indiana Fever faced the Phoenix Mercury. During the second quarter, one moment changed the entire conversation around the game. Fans, analysts, coaches, and even voices from both the NBA and WNBA reacted with the same emotion: outrage. There was almost no disagreement about what they had witnessed. As Caitlin Clark lay on the floor after the whistle had already stopped play, Alyssa Thomas drove her fist into Clark's throat while she was in a defenseless position. The incident immediately spread across the basketball world. Among those who took notice was Steph Curry, and when the greatest shooter in basketball history, the player who transformed the game, the same star Caitlin Clark has trained with and admired, speaks on a situation like this, people pay attention. Few understand better what it's like to be the league's biggest attraction while opponents try every possible tactic to slow you down instead of simply beating you with basketball. Curry has experienced that reality throughout his career, which is why many believe he recognizes exactly what Clark has been facing. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. We'll continue following every development in this story until the WNBA addresses the controversy head on.
What I would love Caitlin to do is get up one time and then just slap the
Steph Curry and Caitlin Clark aren't connected by name alone. Their relationship is built on mutual admiration and first-hand experience. Before the 2026 WNBA season began, Clark shared that she had been training with Brandon Payne, the longtime performance coach who has worked closely with Curry throughout his career. Clark explained that she has always admired Curry's style of play and wanted to find fresh ways to expand her own game and push herself to improve. That connection goes much deeper than off-season workouts. Both stars understand what it's like to carry the weight of being the face of their league. Every opponent builds a defensive strategy around stopping them. Every possession brings extra physical contact, with defenders grabbing, bumping, and holding in an effort to disrupt their rhythm. Many fans have pointed out that if any NBA player experiences treatment similar to what Clark has faced in the WNBA, it's Curry. Clark is regularly pulled, bumped, and pressured all over the floor, even when she doesn't have the basketball. Curry has dealt with that exact style of defense for years. The comparison became even more noticeable in January 2026 during a game against the Charlotte Hornets, when Curry endured constant physical play from defenders. Watching the clips, Clark joined the conversation with a playful but pointed comment: "We want to see Steph make 12 threes a game. Stop grabbing him, please." Her response perfectly captured the connection between two superstars who know exactly what it's like to be targeted every night, simply because they're the players everyone is trying to stop.
Oh man, Caitlin is she's a beast, man. Like, they love her. So I'll probably say Caitlin Clark. I love Tyrese, but she's another level in terms of just the love that she.
Many analysts believed Clark's comment about Curry carried a deeper meaning than it appeared on the surface. Basketball analyst Robin Lundberg suggested that when Clark defended Curry, she was also expressing what she personally experiences. In his view, her words reflected the frustration of being a superstar who constantly deals with excessive physical play. So when the June 24 matchup between the Indiana Fever and Phoenix Mercury produced another controversial moment, Curry wasn't simply watching a WNBA headline unfold. He was witnessing something all too familiar. He saw another elite player absorbing contact that many felt crossed the line of normal basketball. For someone who has spent years battling relentless defensive attention, the scene looked strikingly familiar. The sequence began a little more than 3 minutes into the second quarter as players scrambled for a loose ball. Up to that point, it was the kind of hustle play seen in almost every game. But once the ball had moved away from the action, the controversy began. With Clark still down on the floor, Alyssa Thomas appeared to drive her fist into Clark's neck before stepping over her as play continued. No whistle was blown. The ball was already elsewhere, and officials allowed the game to continue uninterrupted. Replay angles only intensified the debate. The footage appeared to show Thomas making contact with Clark's thigh using her knee before following it with contact to Clark's neck, while Clark remained on the court. With an official positioned nearby, many fans questioned why no foul was called. Clark later exited the game during the third quarter because of a back injury and did not return, adding even more attention to the incident. The reaction online was immediate. Fans flooded social media with criticism of the officiating, arguing that the league's referees had lost control of the game's physicality. One post on X summed up the mood, warning that if situations like this continue, the WNBA risks seeing one of its biggest stars suffer a significant injury.
She deals with there's a lot of rhetoric behind her that she really has no control over, and I think that the way she handles that is just amazing. Like, I think when it comes to the game of basketball, like, she's probably top 5 most famous people that are playing right now, just in general. That includes our league as well.
While many fans believed the officials completely mishandled the situation, and the criticism only grew louder as clips of the play spread online, one social media user sarcastically summed up the perceived double standard. Caitlin Clark claps, technical foul. Alyssa Thomas appears to hit Clark in the throat, no call. What a joke. Others argued the play deserved an immediate technical foul, criticizing both the on-court contact and the officiating. One fan wrote that Thomas has developed a reputation for overly physical play and questioned why officials continue to let similar incidents go unpunished. Perhaps the most revealing reaction came from someone who admitted they rarely watch WNBA games. After seeing the incident unfold live, the viewer asked whether that level of physicality was considered normal. That response stood out because it came from exactly the type of audience the league hopes to attract: new viewers tuning in for the first time. Instead of witnessing a showcase of elite basketball, they watched one of the league's biggest stars become the center of a controversial no call. For many critics, that's the larger issue. The WNBA wants to continue expanding its audience and strengthen its mainstream appeal. First impressions matter. Supporters of Clark argued that seeing the league's most recognizable player involved in a highly controversial sequence without an immediate whistle sends a message that many fans believe hurts the league's image. Calls for accountability quickly spread beyond fans, with media personalities and former players adding their voices to the growing debate. Outkick's John Root argued that Caitlin Clark deserves far better treatment and urged people to keep speaking out about the issue. Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy also weighed in, describing the sequence as a blatant cheap shot and questioning how officials allowed it to go unpunished. Sports Illustrated analyst Robin Lundberg took his criticism a step further, saying the WNBA should review the play and suspend Alyssa Thomas for what he viewed as an unacceptable act. Former WNBA player Stacey Dales was equally direct. She said the contact went well beyond the normal physicality of a loose ball scramble, calling it completely unnecessary and insisting the league should conduct a full review. Dales also pointed to the result that many fans feared most. Clark left the game before it was over. For critics of the officiating, that outcome only intensified concerns about player safety and whether enough is being done to protect the league's biggest stars. One of the strongest responses, however, came from Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White. Although we've criticized White in the past, she didn't hold back after this game, directing her frustration squarely at the officiating. Speaking after the game, White said she had reviewed the play and described it as egregious. She added that she couldn't say whether it contributed to Clark's health issues, but believed it should not have gone uncalled. White also revealed that she raised the incident with officials during halftime. Despite doing so, she questioned the way the game continued to be officiated, noting the significant foul and free throw disparity during the second half as another source of frustration.
Coming in here aware of what happened 2 nights ago? And that still happens?
What?
Absolutely unacceptable.
No, she didn't, dude.
Absolutely
you just
unacceptable.
cursed?
And the reckless closeout that they actually reviewed, and the foot still comes down on top of the defender's foot that wasn't upgraded? Absolutely disrespectful.
White wasn't finished. You have to call that, she said. It was completely egregious and totally unacceptable. She then raised another question that struck a nerve. After everything that happened just 2 nights earlier, how does something like this still go uncalled? That's simply unacceptable. Then she delivered what many considered the most powerful quote of the night. White closed with her strongest message yet. She called the contact to Clark's throat dangerous and questioned how officials could review another controversial play on video, yet still leave the ruling unchanged. It's like getting a second chance on a test and still getting the answer wrong, she said. According to White, there were 2 missed incidents not just one. The contact to Clark's neck and the reviewed closeout both, in her view, deserved stronger action. What frustrates many fans is the bigger picture. Clark spent the offseason training to return stronger, only to leave this game with a back injury after another highly physical contest. Supporters argue this isn't an isolated event, but part of a pattern that has followed her throughout her career. Steph Curry understands that kind of attention because he's dealt with it himself. The difference. Critics say that star players are often given greater protection when dangerous plays occur. Now the focus shifts to the WNBA. Many are asking whether the league will take further action or let the incident stand as is. Whatever decision comes next could shape how similar situations are handled moving forward. What do you think? Should Alyssa Thomas face a suspension, or was the on-court ruling enough? Share your thoughts in the comments below.